now it's time to get unmasked. Please welcome your host, Pamela Elaine Nichols and Cheryl A.S. Haley.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome again to a very special Unmasked live real talk with you ladies. We're so happy to be here with you. Cheryl and I are. And Cheryl, you want to say hi real quick?
Hey, hello, ladies. So glad to be here with you again. Yes.
Yeah. So today we have a very special topic. I think every week we have a very special topic. So for that in a few moments, but let me just welcome you officially to the new name of our group. The show is still called Unmasked Real Talk, but the group that you're in, thank you all for those who voted, is that group name has changed. The group name now is Feel Better, Look Better, Live Better. And we like to call that 3 times better. Okay. So feel better, look better, live better is the new name of the group. And we're excited about that because it was formerly Unmasked Real Talk Live. So this is a place, once again, where we live true to the quote by Dr. Sigmund Freud: unexpressed emotions will never die. They are buried alive and will come forth later in uglier ways. So we want you to get real here, be ugly, quote unquote, in this space, so you can be beautiful out there, so you can feel better out there, so you can live better, so you can look better, so you can even love better by getting real with what you feel. What Cheryl and I want for you every time you come to these talks is to feel better about yourself, so you can feel better about your future.
Yes.
To feel better now, to bring the hard stuff that you're dealing with to us in this supportive environment, so you can feel better when we say see you next time, and you can take that feeling better into everything that you do. Okay. So anyway, we want you to stay until the end so that you can be eligible for our special raffle. And the special raffle today, which I think is really a cool one, one of you will be our special guest on an Unmasked Real Talk Live. Yes, so you see Cheryl and me here, right? You will be with Cheryl and me live on an Unmasked Real Talk thingy. Okay, you're going to be our special guest, and I think that's going to be so fun. Now, don't worry. We'll prep you. We'll make sure you feel comfortable, that you're straight. You know, it's going to be good. So don't worry. Don't be scared and not put your name down in the raffle, okay? We'll make sure you're comfortable. We will review a topic of your interest and your choice so that you know what to expect. So definitely drop your name in there. Okay. And be sure to share your comments, post your questions so Cheryl and I can address them when we come to that section in the show. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over to you, Cheryl.
Yeah. Thank you, Pam. And today, ladies, as Pam has already forestated, we always have interesting topics on today. The topic is busyness causing you, our sisters, burnout? Now, this is a quote that we have by Lori Deschene that says, whatever you're feeling, be good to yourself. If you feel lost, be patient with yourself while you find your way. If you feel scared, be gentle with yourself while you find the strength to face your fear. If you feel hurt, be kind to yourself while you grieve and slowly heal. You can't bully yourself into clarity, into courage, or peace, and you can't rush self-discovery or transformation. Some things simply take time. So take the pressure off and give yourself space to grow. That is such a powerful, powerful quote, because we don't oftentimes take time to do what that quote says so that we can process and gain the clarity. But when we think about it, we always want to give you a relevant statistic or definition about our topic. So the World Health Organization officially defined burnout as an occupational syndrome conceptualized as resulting from chronic workplace stress that has not been successfully managed. But guess what? Burnout doesn't have to be just from work. It can be caused by other situations, which we all can say amen to because we're familiar with it, which creates stress, such as family commitments and issues, caregiving, existing health problems, overcommitting on activities, and so many other factors. Burnout is a reaction to prolonged or chronic stress that can lead to exhaustion. That's why so many of us are tired and other mental and physical reactions. Now, here's some of the signs of burnout. They include extreme tiredness. Think about how many times you might find yourself saying, I'm tired. A lack of focus, going in the room, getting ready to do something, and suddenly you forget what you're about to do because focus is not there. Anxiety and stress, unable to cope. Sometimes our fuses might not be as long as we need them to be. And therefore, we might be having these adult meltdowns. Headaches, which is another sign of stress. Stomach or intestinal issues. Depression. We talked about that depression. Hopeless feelings. And lastly, the inability to reason or make sense of things. And these are just some. These are not all, but these are some of the symptoms of burnout. And oftentimes it's because of the busyness. So, this is our topic on today. We want to unpack it and we want to open it up. When I think about busyness, one of the things that I'll say, Pam, and for those that are viewing, I remember people used to say to me, "You're so busy," and I used to get offended because in my mind I said, and I'm sure you are saying the same thing. I'm not busy. I'm being productive. I'm being productive. I'm taking care of business. I'm getting things done. The reality of it was I was busy and I didn't realize it. But how many of you, and put it in the chat, how many of you can relate to being so busy that it leads to some of these symptoms? And we're trying to figure out why we feel those ways, not even realizing it comes from busyness. But it was something that I've experienced. I'm all too familiar with it. Pam, what about you?
I'm feeling you, Cheryl. And I wanted to add one thing to the list: irritability.
Oh, yes.
Ooh, being irritable and just mean and nasty. I'm not talking about anybody else. I'm talking about myself. So irritable, so mean, so impatient, especially when it came to my kids. Like I'm busy. Like I have 4 children. So when they were much younger, I mean, most of them are adults now, but when they were younger, I was just so busy, and so burnt out being busy, taking care, task here, being a wife, being a mother, that I was irritable and I couldn't really even focus on their basic needs, which one child's like, can you just watch a TV show with me? Watch a TV show? I'm too busy watching the TV show. And some of the others, can I just sit on your lap? Sit on my lap. Oh, how am I going to wash dishes if you're on my lap? So it was really a lot of burnout, and I didn't even realize it at the time.
Yeah. And there's so many people. We're thanking you for your comment.
Yeah.
We see the people that are able to relate. And, one thing that struck my attention is someone says busy, but are you being productive? And the truth of the matter, that's what I used to think, that I was being productive. And most times I wasn't, because you only could do but so many things effectively. And again, when you talk about, oh, can you sit on my lap? No, I have to do this or I have to do that. And even still being irritable. I really want, and I'm glad you brought that out, Pam, because a lot of times, and I think I shared this previously, I remember attending a conference where our former editor-in-chief of Essence magazine, Susan L. Taylor, said, I'm tired of women getting a bad rap about being mean. She said, we're not mean, we're tired. We do so many things, we're tired. And ladies, tiredness cause you to be snappy. And who people who gets it the most, the people closest to us, either our mates, our husbands, or our children, or people right there that live with us, people that live in a home with us, and they see this every day. They oftentimes are the brunt of that irritability that most times is being caused by people outside of them. Isn't that they have nothing to do with it, but they're the ones who they're the ones who get it.
Yeah, and think about those who are caregivers, like taking care of someone who's, unable to take care of themselves very well, and the busyness around that, trying to do your own thing and take care of somebody who's unable to take care of themselves fully. I mean, you want to pull your hair out because of the busyness involved in that. And then that impact on your health, your
Mm.
mental and physical health, the impact on that is just, I mean, monumental. It's mind blowing for sure. I know for me, I don't know about you, but maybe you'll share, Cheryl.
Mhm.
One of the things that happened for me because I was so busy and burning out, blood pressure went
Mhm.
up.
Mhm.
I gained 30 pounds. Okay.
Mhm.
30 pounds. And I don't know that I've even yet gotten those 30 pounds off because I still think I'm in this cycle of burnout, being
Mhm.
so busy and not even realizing it's almost
Mhm.
becoming the norm. And
Ooh,
that's scary.
ooh, ooh. And
That's scary.
what you just said is so key. And because we've been in this pandemic and we're coming out of it somewhat in terms of people working from home and going back into their respective workplaces, sometimes it's been this mental thing that, well, I'm working from home. I don't have to go out. I'm not that busy. And unfortunately, people, if they really stop to examine, we find ourselves, if we're not careful, being busier. Like we
Mm,
more because we're like, I don't have to go anywhere. I can just do this and I can just do that. And you're not alone. When you talk about the blood pressure, and I'll go in far as even the diabetes.
mm,
2 years ago, I was diagnosed, and that came as a result of just binge eating, doing things, working on the computer and eating. Because I don't know why I'm the person. I feel like if I'm watching TV, if I'm on my computer, I have to be snacking. Well, because of
mm,
not being conscious of what I was snacking on, and I know what the healthy protocols are. I know things that I should or should not eat, but I found
mm.
myself eating things that I typically don't eat. And before I know it, I was like, oh, you now have high A1C, diabetic. But again, when we
Mm,
become aware of these things, we have an opportunity
mm.
to turn it around. But a lot of these are associated with our being just busy, busy, busy. But let's ask our unmasked question. So
Let's get to the unmasked
we
question.
see on the side, this chat's filling up. The unmasked question today is, are you, our sisters, and we might have a brother in here, we don't know, but are you, our sisters, addicted to being busy?
Addicted. Look at that word.
Are you addicted to it?
Are you addicted to being busy? Let's take a look at some of our comments so far. One person says, yes, I started taking focus vitamins. What is a focus vitamin? I want to know.
So
Put that in the chat, please. Are you talking about ginkgo biloba? Is that ginkgo biloba? Yeah, we want to know about that one. Okay, so we've got,
there's another question. You see the other question there?
no, read it for me.
There's a question someone asked, what is the difference between rest and sleeping?
Ooh, okay. So good question.
Excellent.
You want to grab it first, Cheryl?
Well, when I look at that question, what is the difference between resting? I'm one who have come to understand the value of sometimes just being still. And when you're being
Mm,
still in the moment, it's like you're quieting your mind, you're quieting your emotions, and you're just resting. And I think
mm,
one of the disciplines for me was, thank you, Pamela Elaine. I was introduced several years ago to transcendental meditation, and I actually took a course, and it taught me how to discipline myself just to be still and be quiet. To me, that takes you to a place of resting where you're not thinking about anything. You're tuning out everything around you and you're just resting in the moment. That is a
mm,
practice discipline. That is not something that happens overnight. It is a practice that once you begin to do it consistently, you master it. I feel as though, and this is an I statement, when you can get to that level of rest, then your sleep is enhanced because you're not going to sleep with weighted down with a bunch of thoughts, and you lie on the pillow and you want to go to sleep, but you're thinking about what you didn't do today, what you got to do tomorrow, what you got to do next week. You're not resting where your body is not rested or your mind's not rested where you can get into that place of calm and go to sleep. So there is a difference. I believe that when the hypothetical you begin to take action steps to kind of master what it means to kind of rest, you position yourself for a quality of sleep that we really need. And so many of us have deprived ourselves of good sleep. Pam, any thoughts?
yeah. I would love it if the person who asked that question, I'm curious, why did you ask that question? Because it's interesting to me that she's making a distinction between rest
Mm-hmm.
and sleeping.
Mhm.
And I would love to know just a little bit more of why you're making that distinction and what's going on in the background of your life that would be something you're trying to make a difference between. If you don't mind, we'd love to get a little bit more. Okay, so let's see. Hello, everyone, and saying good afternoon. We're so happy you're here.
Yes.
Someone said sometimes. I'm not sure what the sometimes is referring to. Just back us up, because Cheryl and I are like on a train. We're going, and we don't know what we said about five minutes ago. Someone says, yes, I was forgotten. Maybe I had forgotten things and I had to backtrack. Okay, tell us a little bit more about what you mean by that as well. And then definitely sister who said the focus vitamins. I need to know if you're talking about ginkgo biloba or something, or is it red wine? Because sometimes that's a focus vitamin. Okay, that's real. Yeah. So the busyness and the burnout part. I want to know also, Cheryl, from those who are listening, what burnout looks like for you. Like when you're burnt out, do you know it? Do you know you're burnt out? And then what is that burnout for you? Are you just like flat out, can't go nowhere, can't do nothing? Are you slumped over on your kitchen table because you can't do anything? I mean, like, what is burnout for you? Are you hyperventilating? Do you have to see the doctor? Like, what is that for you?
For me, you're asking me that, Pam?
I want our listeners to add. Yeah, you can definitely do that. What burnout is for you, but I definitely want our listeners to. Okay, so they're answering the question about being busy. Yes, I want to know. I understand that part. I want to know a little bit more about that being busy, what it looks like for you.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, burnout. What does that look like for you, Cheryl? While we wait for others to comment.
Irritability. Definitely irritability, and also anxiety. Like I could feel myself, like I feel like my heart palpitating. Like I'm like I feel like I'm racing in my mind, which settles down into my emotions, and I begin to feel it physically. So burnout for me it's just like this whole physical thing that my body goes through, and I'm irritable.
So someone says burnout for me means being cranky. I know. Tightness in my chest, yes, and headaches. Woo! Yeah, I know. Me too. While you were talking, Cheryl, I was thinking about for me also it manifests in cranky and headaches for me too. Definitely. I feel like there's just weight on me when I'm in burnout mode. But interestingly enough, there have been times that I still kept going, even in the headache, the crankiness, the tightness in the chest, kept going. I want those who are listening, you keep it moving too. Just push past the symptoms of burnout, which is really a dangerous place to go.
Someone put burnout, extreme tiredness, and anxiety. Yeah. And you know what? I'm also surprised that I didn't see one of the other things is oftentimes we have the shoulder pain and tightness or the lower back ache, because when you're stressed, that stress is going to settle in the weakest part in your body, and sometimes in the back. Someone said I would be so busy that I would just get 3 hours of rest, but I really wasn't sleeping.
Oh my goodness. And you know what? I'm so glad she said that, because we devalue sleep as if it's not a necessity. And there's now enough research that says you get somewhere between 6 and 8 hours. They're really moving more towards 7 and 8 hours of sleep a night. And I know there's some people like, there is no way I can get 7 hours of sleep at night. But your body has to rejuvenate. This is one of the cheapest ways to maintain health and even improve your health is sleep. I mean, think about it. When you're sick, all your body wants to do is sleep. When you're in the hospital, all you're doing is resting and sleeping. Why? Because that's what the body demands in order to feel better, in order to get better. Yet before we get into the hospital and before we get sick, we're pushing the envelope of not getting the rest that we need. And I would really like to see more of our sisters, you know, we need a sleep challenge. we need a go to sleep challenge Get the rest you need challenge, because that is probably the most ignored aspect of our well-being than I think of anything else.
And as I just listened to you share that, Pam, I think that, for our viewers, what Pam and I are going to do, we're going to put together some type of sleep challenge because, I had an opportunity to share over the weekend. We talked about managing stress. And one of the things came up in sleep. It was amazing how many women are not getting enough sleep. And one of the things, being a witness, and I'm sure that there are others there, we don't want illness or hospitalization to be the point that we have to get to before we take the time to rest ourselves. And if we could challenge you to begin to take action now, really want to encourage you to do that so you can begin to renew the body, because what she shared earlier was that when you're sick and that's how your body is renewing itself. We don't want you to have to get to that point for that to happen. Right now, we feel compelled to tell you do it now. And when we are busy, stop.
Yeah. So let's read a couple more of these, and then let's go to maybe the takeaways. The Facebook user answered the question because I want to know what the vitamins are. She says natural vitamins. Okay, that's cool. Burnout, extreme tiredness, and anxiety. You want to read the other one, Cheryl?
Yeah, the next one said, I would be so busy that I would just get three hours. We read that one earlier. Yes, when I am burned out, I am anxious and moody.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah. And then someone said, I love that. I do agree that a sleep challenge is a great idea. Okay, we're going to do it. And also to alleviate the burnout, I started self-care. And we're going to have down the road a conversation about what self-care really looks like. And we know your hair is gorgeous. But we want to let our sisters know that that's not self-care. So Carla said she started self-care. Kudos to you. And for others, that if you haven't done it, begin to incorporate it because it's so necessary. But anybody, are you addicted to being busy?
Yeah, let's do the takeaways, Cheryl.
Okay. You want to do the first one?
Oh, sure. Okay, ladies, we always give you takeaways. So step number 1 is introduce moments of calm. We want you to find ways to calm your nerves and your nervous system by doing activities to slow down, like yoga. Yoga is huge. Taking nature walks, or even doing something as simple as placing your hands over your heart and speaking to yourself lovingly. These are things that can help you get to a calmer state. Now, it may not change the busyness in the moment, but it will give you power to go through the busyness if you can't yet get to slowing down with all the busyness.
Yes.
Step 2, Cheryl, you want to take that on?
Step 2 is rethink your to-do list. I know that we're all important. We have all these things to do, but we're challenging you to rethink your to-do list. Excessively long lists of tasks and our expectations of what we're capable of accomplishing contribute to feeling behind and unable to catch up. And it creates stress, it creates tension, and it creates an even greater sense of busyness because you feel like I got to get it done. What we want you to do is, instead of beating yourself up with that, begin to put on practical tasks on your list that allow you to maintain a sense of well-being. We know that we can do several things, but we can't do everything. We want you to really take a moment to rethink your to-do list. And the third.
And before I get there, I just want to acknowledge a couple other comments in here, which are juicy. One person said, I'm learning as I get older. I wish this information was given years ago. I know what you're saying, sister. Let me tell you, you're getting it now so you can use it. Better late than never. And someone else said, listening to music. Excellent takeaways. So the last one is say no. Everybody say it together. No. Okay. No. Consider the shoulds on your list that you're doing because someone said, you ought to do this, you ought to do that, you ought to do the other. When you intentionally take time to slow down, pause, and create a sense of calm without the guilt, you position yourself to feel good about saying, no. Everybody say it together. No. Okay. And say yes to the things that will enliven you and enrich you.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. No. It's okay to say no. That's right, Carla. Say no. Yes. Amen. We got some no's coming up.
No.
No. Wait. I don't know. I'm gonna say this really quick. I don't know if you know that Reverend who's on YouTube. He goes, hell to the no. You know that? Okay. Anyway, so we've got to now move quickly, Cheryl, to our raffle.
Yes.
Okay, and our raffle is you get to be on the show with us. Okay,
that's right.
Let's do it. Oh. Well, look at that. Danielle gets to be on the show with us. Danielle, we will follow up with you so that we know what topic you want to tackle as our special guest. So congratulations. Give Danielle a shout out, everybody.
Congratulations. And we want to share the space because we never know what we're going to do from week to week in terms of our giveaways, but we wanted something that we want you to feel a part of this community. And again, we want to also encourage, if there's something that we've talked about and you want to go a little deeper in it, to take a deeper dive, don't hesitate to send us a message in our community, because we want to make sure that we're addressing and we're supporting one another, because we're all in this together. But we're excited. We are excited. Yes.
Yeah. So Danielle will prep you. Don't worry. Don't be scared. We'll prep you for the going live with us. And it's going to be really fantastic. So Cheryl, I guess that's it for now. We want to thank everyone who showed up today. You guys were active. And by the way, do you guys like the new name of the group?
Yes. We put them yeses in there.
Okay. I just want to make sure. All right. Well, let's say goodbye then.
All right.
We got to go.
Until next week, we will see you. Thanks for joining us. Love you all, ladies.
And you can say that I'm crazy,